Make sure to subscribe to Apillow on YouTube. Very cool content creator.
It's funny because I've heard spending an hour to debunk 10 minutes a lot lately, which makes me think right-wing propaganda is on the rise again. Yeah. Oh, it is! Like, election year is next year. Right-wing propaganda is absolutely on the rise. Because that's what they do. They need to ramp up their propaganda ahead of next year because they are on track to lose. Even with it looking like Biden isn't doing too well right now, in the wake of this Israel-Palestine, because he's lost a lot of good faith among progressives. He's lost a lot of good faith from me, if I'm being honest. Like, I halfway expected him to react like this, just on account of the fact that he's a US president. But, like, I didn't expect him to go this fucking hard pro-Israel, and to, like, be this weird about calling for a ceasefire. I did not expect that. So, he's lost a lot of good faith from me, but it's a situation where, like, I have to consider my options. If Biden doesn't win the US presidency, I'm fucked. I'm a college student currently, living in a red state. I can't afford to not vote. Just like no one else can afford to not vote. I have plenty of friends who will be in, like, very heavily screwed over if Biden doesn't win. If Biden does not win next year, an abortion ban will be passed. A federal abortion ban will be passed. And I'm calling that right now, because what Republicans really want to do is... Oh god, I'm doing the Just Vote segment. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna continue to do this. Yeah? Because, I mean, I already started it off on a rant. I'll just, like, pull this from stream. Okay? So, what's going on with this entire situation, this whole don't vote for Biden because of, like, what he's doing, or, like, why should I vote for Biden? Because of, what he's doing is, what he's doing in this situation, involving Israel-Palestine. I'll tell you exactly what it's gonna do. If Biden does not win this next year, Republicans are going to pass a federal abortion ban. Yeah? You can say that it isn't popular policy. Republicans fucking know that. Republicans have known that since last year, and they were still running candidates in these previous elections, and were still running ballot initiatives in these previous elections that happened, like, this past Tuesday. They were still running those initiatives to try to get abortion bans passed in states like Ohio. Yeah? Republicans know exactly what the fuck they're doing here. If they get the keys to the presidency, and they keep control of the House, and they gain control of the Senate, which the Senate race next year is favored for Republicans. All of the seats that are up for grabs next year from Republicans are in safe districts. Pretty much all of their seats are safe. They're in safe red states. Yeah? So it's it's likelier that Republicans take the Senate next year than Democrats keep the Senate. Well, I'm not going to say it's likelier, but the election map for the Senate next year heavily favors the GOP. Yeah? And they already have the House, so if Republicans can keep the House, take the Senate, and win the presidency next year, and they have a fucking trifecta, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. End the filibuster. Republicans will absolutely end the fucking filibuster in the Senate. They will pass a national abortion ban. And I'm calling this right now, because they have nothing to lose at this point. They know that they are becoming increasingly less and less and less popular. They know exactly what they are doing. Yeah? You cannot let the Republican Party anywhere near the keys of power, because they will take that little inch that you give them, and they will run across the world with it. Okay? Yeah? Also, on the topic of Israel and Palestine, this is a tweet from Frogan, of course. I had to bring this up because I saw it earlier. But please tell me why it's dire for me to vote for him. I'm waiting. What are the prospects of a Gaza ceasefire? His reply, none, no possibility. Yeah? You may be saying, why the fuck should I vote for Genocide Joe? And I agree. It is really difficult to try to vote for someone who is actively fine with a genocide going on right now. But I'll tell you exactly why. The Republican alternative right now is former President Donald J. Trump. He's really the only Republican right now who has a realistic path to the White House. He's really the only one. In his 2016 campaign, Trump floated the idea of doing a Muslim registry in the United States of America. People coming from Muslim majority countries. He of course did the ban on people coming from Muslim majority countries, many of them. He put in the 3 Supreme Court justices in place who were integral to overturning Roe v. Wade. He has openly signaled actively anti-queer policies. He's been a lot more on the rise with his Islamophobia since the situation going on in the Middle East. Yeah, I'll tell you what is the difference between a Trump presidency and a Biden presidency. Voting Trump or Biden or not voting at all in 2024, I'll tell you exactly what that fucking difference is. Both of them are going to support genocide because the United States is fucked. The United States of America as a nation is fucking disgusting. The state of Israel would not be able to do what it's fucking doing if it wasn't for the United States of America. But I'll tell you the fucking difference in between these two politicians. What's gonna happen with when either one of these 80-year-old fuckers wins. Biden, we're continuing on what we're fucking doing. Trump is going to revel in the deaths of Palestinians. Does that make Biden good? No! He's a fucking piece of shit. We've been saying this the entire fucking time. Do you think I like Joe Biden? I fucking hate Joe Biden. He is a career politician who has spent his entire fucking career trying to get to the White House. He is a presidential orbiter. He has spent his entire time in the White House. I mean, not in the White House. He spent his entire time in politics trying to become president of the United States of America. He could not give less of a shit about me or you. He does what his party views as popular. He does what his party views as popular and will help his polling numbers. Just as what Donald Trump does, what he helps will help his polling numbers. What he views will help his polling numbers. Because they're fucking politicians. That's what they care about. They care about getting in office and staying in office. They're gonna do what's popular, what they think, what their party thinks is popular. And I'll tell you one fucking thing. In the Democratic Party, are there a bunch of people supporting the state of Israel? Yes, because that's popular across the board in the United States of America, because once again, the United States of America is fucked. But I'll tell you the difference between the Democrats and the fucking Republicans. Democrats will at least look at the atrocities of Israel and be willing to call them out on occasion. There are plenty of Democratic politicians in the House of Representatives who have openly called out the bullshit that the state of Israel is doing. Representative Rashida Tlaib, who is the only Palestinian woman in Congress who recently got fucking censured, who's the only Palestinian woman in Congress right now, has been vocal about this. People on the more progressive side of the Democratic Party have been vocal about this. They will, in time, the Democratic Party, in time, will move towards supporting Palestinian rights as people start to wake up to the fact that the state of Israel is a genocidal apartheid state. People are already moving in that fucking direction, and we see this reflected in our politicians. We see this reflected in the fact that there are news reporters actively asking President Biden, what is your opinion on a ceasefire? Biden is the one who is out of line with the party in this case. Young people, Gen Z, control the fucking Democratic Party. We have that party by the fucking balls, and they know that. They know that Gen Z was integral to flipping the election in 2022, the fucking midterms. They know that fact. And over time, they're gonna start to acquiesce to that fact. I'll tell you the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, in the next 2 years, is gonna be very pro-Palestinian. I'm calling that now. In the next 2 years, if the Republican Party still fucking exists, they're gonna be actively calling for Palestinians to be lynched in the fucking street. They already fucking are. You have to be a fucking idiot if you do not see the difference in this. Is this an ideal situation? No! It fucking sucks. This entire situation fucking sucks. But you have to be an actual fucking idiot. And this isn't directed at Frogan, this is directed at everyone who's looking at the situation and going, well, no, I'm not voting now. I have had those feelings. It was my representative in the House of Representatives. I technically don't live in her district, but I'm registered to vote there because that's where my home is. I'm in college right now, so I'm not in her district. But the district that I am technically registered to vote in, because that's where I am at home, that's where I live at home, yeah? My House representative voted to censure Rashida Tlaib. And you know what I'm gonna do to that? You know what I'm gonna do to that? I'm going to try my damnedest to get someone to primary her. I'm looking into candidates who are going to be challenging her in the fucking primaries next year. And I will vote for that candidate. I will attend protests against her if they so fucking arise. Because fuck Kathy Manning for her actions there. Fuck her. But sitting around and acting like you not voting is gonna do anything, you're not gonna do shit but doom yourself. Politicians don't give a fuck about people who don't vote. Dumbass. This is directed at everyone who engages in this anti-electoralism. Politicians do not give a fuck about people who do not vote. They don't care. You don't matter to them. Make yourself matter. Do shit. This is idiotic. People's rights are on the line regardless of what you do. No one said that you have to vote for Democrats and fucking like it. You can hate them, you can despise them, but you can also take solace in the fact that trans people aren't going to be getting dragged out on the fucking street into fucking conversion camps forcibly by their fucking straights. You can take solace in the fact that a trans kid isn't going to be ripped from their parents' fucking hands. You can take solace in the fact that you aren't getting fucking black-bagged by government agents every time that you want to protest a horrible government action. You can take some joy in the fact that you're openly allowed to have fucking queer pride protests. You can take joy in the fact that there's less of a fucking likelihood that you're gonna end up in a situation where you're on a fucking registry for your religion. I'm not saying that the situation is fucking ideal, but use your fucking head. Más y menos. What the fuck is gonna work for you? What is gonna be better? And again, I don't like Democrats. I don't. I really don't. I am far left. Well, that's the wrong side on camera. That's my left. I am far left. Far left. I am far left. I'm very far left. I despise the Democratic Party. Okay? Flat out despise the Democratic Party. But I'll tell you one thing. I will vote for them like my life depends on it, because it does. Use your brain. It's that simple. Use your brain.